Good morning. I think we are live on a Sunday morning, and welcome to Tarot Time. Welcome to the Medium channel, where, as always, we bring you the spirituality behind the message. And today in Tarot Time, what we do is we do a meditation card for the week. We do a 3 card spread that could be relevant to you personally or more in a community or global sense. And I have other divination cards, divination tools. So basically, we connect with spirit, we get messages to help us through our week, through this period of our awakening and our renewal. And we do this every week, every Sunday. So if you're watching this as a video, welcome. Also for you guys that are here live, welcome. And if you're new, or even if you're old like me, if you're new or if you're old, you want to say hi and where in the world you're coming in from, please do. And for the people that are here as a video, I just give the live people a couple minutes to get their notifications, and me grab my water and then get right into it. So while people are coming on, firstly, I must admit that the second Sunday of March is not my favorite day of the year. So yeah, we just went into daylight savings time, and I'm amazed that anybody's here today. I thought I'd be by myself, um, and so never the first Sunday morning, especially could I do this at 11, which feels like 10 o'clock, but not my favorite day, especially since I have been working, doing readings the past 5 days straight and taking on extra clients, extra hours, just because I don't want people to have to wait for months and months to get a reading with me. So, anyways, if my brain cells are scattered somewhere out in Andromeda somewhere, forgive me. So that's my disclaimer for the morning. But the good news is, but I think I may have slept 3 hours last night, but the good news is that spirit does not need sleep. So as long as I can clear my mind and let them come through, it's all going to be good. So let me just say a few quick hellos and dive right into it. So who's here? Now, wow, I can see. Um, Colleen has the question of the day. So on a Sunday morning, are we coffee, tea, or caffeine free? And I had my black tea. Usually I have green tea, but today I went for the hard stuff. And hi, Suzette. Hi, Roseanne and Colleen. And good morning, Laura. And hi, Mr. Floyd. Since he's saying sleep has been weird for a week. Yes, wonderful Massachusetts. Hi, Huda. Huda. Hi, hey, Colleen. Hey, Teresa. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Children's School of Yoga, aka Doreen, and hi, Carissa in Delaware, and anybody else. Oh my gosh, you guys are wide awake. Look at all these comments. Oh my God. Hi, Rose, Marie. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Judy. Hi, Angela. Hi, Jody. Hi, Michael. Hi, Susan. If you're in, hi, everybody. Everybody's good. And just because I saw Michael, it reminded me that I wanted to just make a couple of points actually from my February psychic forecast that I think I did. I think we did that February 1st or the very end, or I'm sorry, March. Brain cells in Andromeda, March psychic forecast. They're talking a little bit about things like the economy and the stock market being volatile, and and to watch your money, and to maybe have things in precious metals or stuff like that. I just wanted to remind you also that for those of you that do invest or do play the markets or whatever, that even in the worst of times, there's something out there that's going to hit. Like for example, like during the Great Depression, the Gallo brothers started to sell wines from their near their farm on a roadside, and they became millionaires. Gallo wines, right? So it's really, and this is key, because we're really coming to that Aquarian age. Saturn just moved into Pisces for the next 2.5 years. I kind of referring that as to the Piscean age's last stand, but it gives us an opportunity because Saturn is lessons, learning, and karma, and the sign Pisces is about the subconscious. So it really gives us that final opportunity to clear all those shadows. And it's our suppressed subconscious shadows, suppressed traumas, programming, all the stuff that's responsible for these negative patterns in our lives that a lot of us just feel like helpless victims to, because it just keeps going on and on and on, and it seems like the world's against us, or that we're being targeted, or the society, just whatever it is. But the fact is that we run these programs cyclically through our energy field, through our subconscious minds, and when we start to activate the heart and start to connect the heart and brain and spirit, that's when we can start to reprogram and change these negative patterns. So we have this Saturn, this very disciplined energy, moving into that 12th sign of Pisces. Think 1994. That's the last time that we had this Saturn transit. I think it was 1994, 1993, maybe it started. But anyways, so this is really the time to really clear all this stuff and really embrace the Aquarian age. And so that's that. So anyhow, I think people are here. So let me just say, a couple of quick things that are coming up. To Tuesday, 7 o'clock, we have Zara Starchild coming in for an interview. So that's going to be amazing. I've known Zara for quite a while. She's one of the most awakened, and she's a great healer also. I remember back in the day, it seems like another lifetime, but back in the day when I still had chronic autoimmune disease and incurable disease that we cured. By the way, we cured the incurable disease. So she does violet alchemy healing. I think it's called violet alchemy healing, amongst a lot of other things. She's a very awakened starseed, so she's going to talk about her awakening and how that's helped her life, and how through her awakening process, how she found her life calling, and she's doing her work for the for the new earth, basically. So that's coming up then. A week from today, on the 19th, we're going to do mediumship again. So right around the Sabbats, right around the Celtic Sabbats. This is Easter, right? The spring equinox coming up. So we're going to do that on the 19th, on Sunday. And then what else? Oh, yes. I just wrote down to remind you guys, or not remind you guys, to announce that very soon I'm going to start to do YouTube shorts once I figure out how that all works. And we're going to do like little daily 1-minute readings every morning except Sunday. So that's a new project. Like, I don't have enough work to do. But anyway, that's that. I think we're all in. Wow, there's over 30 people. I didn't think anybody was going to be joining me this morning, but see if we get we don't have our usual entourage of 50 to 60, but whatever. Thank you for being here. So let's do a meditation card. And meditating with the tarot can be a really beautiful way of connecting to the energy of the cards. Tarot came from Taroki, although we understand that the origins are much older than that. That was a game that was played in, I think it originated in King Ferdinand II's court in Renaissance Spain, although I may have my details slightly off on that, but based on prints from an artist named Bonifacio Bembo. But the scholars later on, especially in the later 1800s and early 1900s, were really diving deep and discovered that these paintings or prints were really more like mystical imagery, a lot of sacred geometry, and a lot of Kabbalistic knowledge sort of represented in these prints and these pictures. And then there's like the number correspondences, the suits, and all that. So in any event, they were able to understand that this is really an ancient like wisdom system, and tarot is used largely for meditation and for spiritual growth in terms of divination and fortune telling, which we don't do that around here, by the way. But in terms of divination and stuff like that, that's more modern. But you can use tarot cards for meditation. You can use them for divination, but you can also use them for manifestations. You can use the symbols to magnify your mind and your intention to create your reality, to make your law of attraction work stronger. And then people use it in magic. I don't really recommend doing magic unless it's on a very kind of spiritual level. This or something greater is going to manifest for the highest good. But certainly, when you set your intention and you visualize and you feel it, that is in essence doing magic, basically. So anyways, can take it from there. So that's basically that. So when we meditate with cards, and you can do tarot meditations every day. You can ask spirit to give you the right card for the journey that you need. Because meditating with the tarot card is like taking a journey. It's going inside the energy of the card to sort of the heart of the frequency of that particular card, which is one of 78 possibilities according to the tarot, like 78 like energetic archetypes or dimensional realities is represented through the cards. Anyways, so when we meditate with the cards, coming back full circle, we basically just clear your mind, get very present, and in your mind step into the card. The first step is to feel, but as soon as you step into the card, what do you feel? How do you feel different? What did your emotions feel like? The energy, your body. Maybe you get colors or smells or scents or images or symbols in your mind. These are all part of our conscious ability, our consciousness, our ability to discern energy. So we can discern the energy, the frequencies of certain things, like tarot cards, through what we're feeling, what colors or what images comes in, and then you look around and what else are you seeing in the card? Can you enter into a whole new world? It's like the tarot cards, like a doorway into a whole new reality. Maybe there's other people there, spirit guides, angels, or whatever. So just step in, get messages, get feelings, just experience. Doesn't have to be a big deal. And often we get our most profound and strongest messages from spirit when we're not even asking. Because sometimes when we ask, we're almost blocking ourselves. So asking spirit for messages is an art in and of itself, because we have to be very present in the moment. But in our moment of presence, where we're not thinking, we're just experiencing, we still have to have that presence of intellect to be able to ask a question right in our minds. So sometimes by doing that, we kind of take ourselves out of the spirit mind, and then we don't get the answer. Then when we're not even thinking about it, we're just loose and open, then it comes in. So messages often come when we least expect it. But the idea is to just set the intention to get messages, to get information, but to try to stay present. And the idea is, you have a desire that I'd like a message, but you have to be okay if you don't get a message. And if you can be okay without getting a message, then you eliminate any resistance to getting a message in the first place. Am I making sense? Maybe out in Andromeda I am, but hopefully here on planet Earth, I'm making some semblance of sense here. So anyway, let's do a meditation card. Let me get that. Wow, hi misbehaving. Hi Carissa again. Love wormwood and burning it. How do we get to wormwood? I'm missing out on all your comments. Sorry about that. Oh, where are we here? Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. Okay, deep breath, Adam. Everything's okay. Daylight savings time transitions only once a year. Okay, I'm good now. Trauma released. Okay, now I can pick the right tarot card. Okay, so this is our meditation card for the week. Ooh, meeting. So this is a good one. Maybe set the intention to meet a spirit guide, or maybe meet a soulmate. Anybody looking for love these days? I mean, the Two of Cups isn't always about love, but anybody looking for love? Um, well, it's interesting because recently I've actually started to open up in that area myself. Maybe it's something in the air. I do not know, but I'm extremely happy being single. For me to actually even entertain that, it means a lot. But the point, you want to attract a soulmate, and that's one of those, in my opinion, ill-defined terms, because on one hand I've got 7 billion soulmates living as humans on this planet right now, but then there's different levels of soul connection or whatever. But the point being is, if you're looking for like the right life partner, the right soulmate connection right now, do a little meditation where you feel your heart expanding, feel your heart going into the ethers, into the quantum field, into the field of spirit, and then look for different lights or energies and find a light that's really bright and that you feel really attracted to, like your light and the light of that soulmate that you may not even know who that person is yet. You may not have met them physically, or you may have just feel the lights being attracted to each other, connecting, and then glowing bright and almost becoming one, and a much brighter light, basically. It's interesting. I was watching Sirius. I was gazing at the star Sirius yesterday evening, and in my mind, the star just split into two, and then into three, and then it just turned different colors, and then it was like pulsating, almost like a Norse code. So of course I texted Lily Nova, our friend that a lot of that we did an interview with. She has a channel called Lily Nova Starseed. So of course I texted her this morning and said, Lily, what had just happened? Help. But anyways, not to be a drama queen, but that had never happened before, and I just thought about that now, and perhaps that was spirit linking me with the soulmate energy. Who knows? But so you can meditate with this card. Getting back to the meditation here, you can meditate with this card with that intention, but this could also be meeting a spirit guide or meeting somebody that crossed over. So the idea, get very relaxed. You can use this card here. This is the Morgan Greer deck, or if you have your own tarot card, you can use your own deck. And um um and just in your mind, step into the card, feel the energy, what are you sensing, and see what you get. Look at the scenery, feel it out, see who you're meeting. You can talk to your guides, and try that this week. I think as a message, I think we're being called upon to make connection to those we care about. Remember, those that you love in your life, tell them that you love them. Tomorrow may be too late. Not to sound morbid or anything, but I've been a medium for 20 years. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And we don't want you guys to have to hire somebody like myself to say something that you should have said when they were still living. So that said, no, I'm not predicting anybody's dying this week. No worries about that. But this is what's kind of downloading from spirit to remind myself as well as you guys to always tell those you appreciate them, those you love that you love them, and everything like that. I'm missing an amazing conversation here. Okay. That's okay. I can miss an amazing conversation. So that's our meditation cards. Let's do a 3-card spread, and see where that leads us. I'm just looking at your comment. I'm just just post this. It kind of gives the flavor of that. Wow, that's incredible. You must be very high vibrational, Mr. Floyd, to never have had that experience in any lifetime ever. Wow. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of conversation about past life regressions here. Let's see. Very good, Laura. Very, very good. Yes, I do that. It's kind of on my mind because yesterday I got a very troubled text from my brother who's in very poor health, and I was like, oh my God, is this it? I mean, he's younger than I am, but he's in much. I'm blessed with much better health at this time, and turned out he probably needs surgery, and he's in the hospital, but at least he's not dying. But yeah, these kind of things are on my mind lately. So anyhow, um, all right. So we want to do a 3 card spread. I need to just clear my mind and open my heart to spirit again, so that we get the right cards, the right messages, and what's going on this week. Also, astrologically, well, there's Integral Astrology channel with Armand Diaz. Check him out. It's in my biological clock. This started at 10 a.m. rather than 11 a.m. I didn't have time to look at the ephemeris. I'm pretty sure Neptune and Mars are squaring once again for the final time, and then Mars is fairly soon going to finally get out of Gemini, out of that duality, and into Cancer. After that, which tend to be more you're connected to home, family, intuition, love, and stuff like that. So Neptune and Mars square. There's a lot of confusion. So just be ready for that. This will be the third pass. So we've had in the last several months a couple of other squares, and there was a lot of confusion when that happened. All right, clearing my mind again. I'm still mixing cards up, believe it or not. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of dogs in my mind, so this may be a good week for animal communication. Speaking of which, next up on my interview list after Zara Starchild is my friend and probably the best animal communicator I've ever known, Cindy Brody. So she's going to talk about how to communicate with the animals at the end, sometime near the end of March. All right, clearing mind. I'm good. One. I'm seeing horses, so I think that there's a lot of movement. A lot of us are getting back on our horse. We had a very interesting intro into March, and I've been talking for the last year, and I shouldn't say other astrologers. I mean, I know astrology. I'm not an astrologer. Have been talking about March being very volatile and very challenging or whatever. And it's the morning of March 3rd. I woke up and I just felt like every atom in my body had been like kind of scattered and then left in some gelatinous mass. And that's what I felt like when I woke up on March the 3rd. And I was like, this was some really crazy energy. And I don't know if it was like the the programmers, the ones that are still trying to colonize and keep us in a certain lower frequency, in order for them to be able to control everything. If it was some kind of an energetic attack, or if it's something more like solar flares, because that could really kind of upset our balance also, and we have been having a lot of them. But these cards are interesting. The King of Swords, was just telling me, stay in your, keep your head on your shoulders, basically. A lot of you guys. Okay, so the cards are the King of Swords, the Five of Pentacles reversed, and then the Page of Swords. Now the kings often are about like your self-control, self-mastery, information, especially swords, because it's like air and air. It's the kings, I think they're because the knights are fire. And then the pages are often about news or information also, but and then the Five of Pentacles is interesting. Because Pentacles can be about money and security, but it's also reversed and I always look at the bandaged figures, because that's often about like psychic wounding, childhood wounds, all that kind of stuff, emotional stuff, and things of that nature. it looks to me like somebody here, or some of you here are mulling over like some new either job opportunity, or and I feel like as I'm saying that that it's not maybe everything that you're looking for, but that the money's good and it offers some opportunity. But there's a little bit of trepidation because it's kind of like leaving a comfortable scenario, and it's a little bit more risky. But I feel like if this resonates with you, I feel like spirit saying at least look a little bit further into this opportunity. And the other thing is I just get the sense of people doing a lot of financial investing now, and like I was saying in the beginning, is what's safer is the precious metals, gold, silver, platinum. There's a couple of others and stuff like that, because they have a base value. The dollar or currency can go up and down, but these things have a base value. And by the way, not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday, I'm going to do a video on my top 11 predictions for the 2020s, and we're going to talk a lot about things like, well, not a lot, but at one point things about the gold standard, and how I think it was in 1972, and how you know, Nixon administration took us off the gold standard. And for a while, we were on like a petrodollar standard, which was kind of a joke. I'm not really that up on economics, but even I know that was kind of like, I don't know, an accident waiting to happen. I don't know. But anyways, so I just need to turn these around to just sort of get the energies. See, I'm looking at this, this final outcome card. Sometimes, this could be the kings could be rulers, could be governments or stuff like that. A lot springing up about things like artificial intelligence. A lot of news is surfacing. I read an article, on my Yahoo news feed. So this is mainstream news. I glanced into an article about Sweden and how, going into like the pandemic, and how that they had their own way of dealing with it. That there's no masking, there's no social distancing. There's more like information, informing the people, hey guys, be smart about this. This is a pandemic here. But there weren't these crazy rules imposed on the people, and their mortality rate came in about half of what neighboring countries did. I think it was between 1 and 1.5%, and that's only of known cases. So the mortality rate was actually a good deal lower than what was told to us, and they fared much better. And one of the things, and I'll be brief about this point, but one of the things that I always look back in, that always kind of gets my goat a little bit, is that as this was developing, that I could see by the patterns of infection, I could see how the virus spread, at least the original variants of the virus. The rules changed with Omicron. Um, and I could see how it could be, I don't want to say control, but manage might be a better word. I mean, there's no controlling this, but managing it. And but they didn't do it. And basically what I observed, it's a clustering effect. Like most viruses, like flus, tend to have like more of a blanket um, pattern of infection, but not this one. It clustered. It was very pronounced. And that told me that this is a virus that really spreads most easily when there's a what's the right words here? Oh God. There's a period of time of exposure, basically, like you'd be far less likely to catch it at a supermarket than you would by sitting in a classroom with another kid that has the virus, or sitting in an office all day with somebody that has it, whether you have a mask on or not. If you're sitting with somebody for hours, you're still going to be exposed to it. And then you pick up the virus, then you bring it home, and then people that you spend your hours with at home catch the virus. They take it to their offices. So it's that very distinct clustering of cases. So with that, there's a way of handling it that didn't need to involve all the craziness. Now more and more is coming out about how the masking, the social distancing really didn't work, or the effects, or the effects were marginal, giving it the benefit of the doubt. But then a lot of people, and I can verify this as a medium, dealing with the other side, that suicides, drug overdoses, all spiked. A lot of the children who are in those formative years where they're navigating their world by facial expressions didn't have that for a while because they were forced to wear masks at school. And for me, I would have preferred to see them just learn remotely. At least they could see on their computer screens people's facial expression. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox in a second, but the reason I'm bringing this up is all this is starting to come out, and it's coming out in a way that suggests that, of course, I don't have any opinion because I don't have enough knowledge or to make an educated opinion. But that said, a lot's coming out about mishandling, and the conjecture is, and the evidence really points right to this, that there was pre-knowledge of this pandemic, and there was a premeditated way of controlling the masses, using this either as opportunistically or worse yet, and this is just a theory, but worse yet, that it was planned, years before it actually happened. So anyways, yeah, this is a good point because this is probably why one of the reasons I'm feeling why it's good to get into more of the precious metals. We're seeing like the banking system collapse. We predicted that. By the way, speaking of prediction, we also predicted last about 2 to 3 weeks ago, my March forecast, that a big nor'easter and a lot of snow for the Northeast between the 12th and the 14th of March. Well, guess what? 13th and 14th of March, they're predicting 1 to 2 feet by me of snow. So that was a good prediction. I think a lot of my March predictions are starting to show up. So I'll pin that in the comments when this becomes a video. So what else? Don't worry so much about money, as this is saying. This, to me, I feel a lot of worry. It's an uncertain world, but guess what? Every day is an uncertain world. Now more so because everything's changing. It's an awakening, and the old just can't survive when we come into a higher consciousness. Things born out of lower consciousness cannot sustain when collective consciousness is moving into a higher consciousness, a higher frequency. So lower frequencies is about selfishness, is about control, all this stuff. We live in a control based society. We live in a debt based economy. So we're programmed from very early on to see our reality as one that we're always going to owe money, that we're never going to be ahead. This is a debt based society that we live in, a debt based economy that cannot endure when we come into our new earth mentality, because it is wrong. It goes against nature. And the thing is, as we start to evolve more, we start to reconnect with nature. I'm very fortunate to have had an awakening at a young age, to work with Native Americans who taught me how to reconnect with the flows of energy in nature. And very, very few people actually are aware of this and are doing this. And even people who are consider themselves awakened, and I'm not judging, I'm not comparing, I'm not in my ego when I'm saying this. This is just what I observe and what I know, because I can tell by what people say from their perspective, what their experience is. And and I'm very fortunate that I can always feel energy through my body. I can always direct energy, and I can be in nature and communicate with it and feel the flow and exchange energy and all that good stuff. This is what they're trying to take away from us. Because when we feel the flow, that's chi, that's prana, that's our direct link with source. This is what they're trying to take away from us so that we can be easily controlled. But when we disconnect from source, which is our wellspring, then we're open to disease. We're open to all kinds of negativity, psychological, emotional, stuff like that. So we need to reconnect. So don't let them freak you out. Understand, go in your heart. When you're in your heart, you can't be programmed. You are one with source. And no matter what happens out there, you're always going to be okay in here. And we need to know this. We need to own this, especially if things get worse before they get better. In your heart, it's always going to be okay, no matter what's going on out there. You're going to survive. And this lifetime, you're going to survive in this lifetime as a physical being, because it's God's plan, it's Spirit's plan for this society to evolve, to grow, and to move on. It's part of our evolution. But no matter what, even when we die, we survive. Consciousness always survives. We're immortal. We're not local beings. We're multidimensional. We're multi-vibrational, and we live in a quantum field or realm of spirit where all possibilities and all time already exist. So this is what we have to keep reminding ourselves. Do affirmations. Keep doing subconscious reprogramming. All this swords energy, to me, it's reeking of a lot of programming, a lot of the deep state, those that want to control everything. Yeah, I just saw another article about the Vanderbilts. That's one of the six, ruling, parties, part of the deep state structure, according to the movie Thrive, if any of you guys saw that, and a lot of other sources too, by the way. So be aware, but don't be afraid. And this is why the medium channels here, why a lot of other teachers are getting more public now. We need to create community. We need to support one another, and that's what we do. That's why we're here, right? And thank you guys for being here. So that's basically the information that I get from this. So let me see what else they're trying to say. Something with Federal Reserve, we talked about that. I'm looking at this card. I'm just here and tell them it's okay to cry. Basically, maybe tell myself it's okay to cry. So sometimes we need to do that to release. And a lot of you have just been being so strong for everybody else, and you're not giving yourselves a chance to release and to let things go. It's okay. It's not weakness. It's strength. Again, that's negative program. This is something that affects the males more than the females. Granted, about 80% of negative programming, if you want to make it gender specific, that is targeted against females, because females really carry the sacred power, of motherhood and of the triple goddess, basically. So yeah, let's you make women think they have to look a certain way to be accepted by society. Let's lace feminine products with carcinogens and other things to disempower, stuff like that. But there's programming against men also, so that's part of it. Men cannot cry. You got to be strong. You got to stiff upper lip. Okay, I'm getting all British on you. To keep the stiff upper lip. So anyway, breakdown to breakthrough. That's been kind of a little play on words that's been going on in my mind for a while. Breakdown to breakthrough. Some of you are not allowing yourself to have the breakdown, and you're not therefore not allowing yourself to have the breakthrough. Basically, just kind of let it all go. Basically, all right. Have I made myself clear? Yeah, all right. Definitely not an accident. Yeah, okay, crying is beautiful. Yes, Carissa, it most certainly is. All right, I have other divination tools. Let me Native American cards. It's already 11:42, so thank you, Teresa, for that comment. And Judy also. I appreciate you guys so much. And if I haven't said that I love you lately, I love you. Or what does the Native American wisdom have to say? Sundance. Wow. That's amazing. Maybe they're telling me to go do Sundance this summer. Sundance, to me, it's rebirth, death and rebirth. So I have to kind of bone up on the ceremony, because if I'm getting one or 2 points a little bit off, if you guys follow Lakota or Native tradition, you're totally welcome to correct me. But I believe the dancers hang from a tree, or from, in this case, he's on a post. I've seen that it was like a hook in the back for 4 days. 4 days after doing sweat lodge, no food, no water. ask your doctor, what would happen to you if you hung from a tree for 4 days without water. Your doctor, he or she would be like, you die. But they don't die, do they? In fact, they do a sweat lodge before that. They don't die. Um, so our bodies are amazing. It's so much more amazing than what science even knows, but we're discovering it. And our minds and our spirits are even more amazing. And I always think about a story about was he Russian? The wrestler, that won the gold in the Olympics. They got caught not snowboarding. Um, oh God, what's the word? I warned you about this morning. My brain's not doing too good. Snowmobiling. Thank you. And then he actually accidentally went into water. The snowmobile broke, and he was stuck. Like he fell through the ice, and he was stuck till the next morning. He was wet. It was 20 below. He survived that. And again, and look at Wim Hof also. Our bodies are so amazing. Our will is so amazing, and we have potentials, survival potentials that we're not aware of because we're so programmed and conditioned. Part of it's a survival instinct to tense up in the survival situation. Like when you get really cold, what do? Your body tenses, right? But if you're able to relax, be in your heart and be in spirit, another energy takes over that can keep you alive, much longer than what doctors know. So anyway, that's part of the meaning, but it's also 12. So it relates to the hangman in the tarot, which would make sense. That's sacrifice, spiritual sacrifice. So again, maybe it's a good week to really go into meditation, really think about what do you not need anymore going forward. Maybe there's an addiction that could be a mental addiction or an emotional addiction, a cycle, a pattern, or maybe you're thinking of kicking drugs if you do that, or gambling or sex or whatever it is. But I think what they're saying to us is this is a good week. Maybe our will is strong or our resolve is strong. And I'm saying it's more like preparing for the new energies, because there's a lot of new waves of energy that are coming in. And March is powerful, but so is May and April and May. And I think I kind of see people starting to get together, people that don't know each other but are of like minds starting to meet each other, and people starting to physically get together more, and having more community events. So anyhow, so that's basically that. So the sacrifice and the ability to go in and get more internal knowledge. So all right. So let's next. I have sacred geometry cards, of course. All right. This is the one. And what's the word? Dynamic. This is the new one that I haven't pulled yet. Key 23, dynamic. So I'll leave this a little closer. So one of the ways you can use these is just kind of gaze in the center. Just allow yourselves to be part of the sacred symbol, the sacred geometry. Feel it in your heart, feel one with it, and just, get the energy and get the downloads that way. And the message here is the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So that's that. That's what it looks like. So just absorb that for a moment. I love the circles and the triangles. To me, that's always been very powerful energy. And it feels to me like it's really heart activating also. So let's be dynamic in the heart then. Okay, so next on the list, how about animals? Let's get an animal message from Steve Farmer's messages from the spirit guide, from animal spirit guides. I'm just glancing your conversation. I'm doing this. Oh my God, but you guys are having a good. Oh, we're 33. I must have bored a few people because you're over 40 a little while ago. But 33, what's that? Metatron's cube, or is that's more like the Merkaba. That's Metatron's cube. But 33 is, to me, is the master numbers, and it's 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. So the whole 369 code is embedded within the number 33. Okay, so spare you from seeing me licking my fingers here. Condor. Oh, what a powerful animal. Here's the condor, definitely in the eagle family, right? Those of you, maybe somebody's being called to do some South American shamanic work or some plant ceremony work or something like that. But the message here is you're too enmeshed in the situation. I wouldn't have thought of that with condor, but okay, that's what it says. You're too enmeshed in the situation. So I get it. Step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. So it's kind of sort of almost indirectly in a way kind of aligned with everything else because again, be in your heart, kind of take in everything, take in your landscape. That's the art of the warrior, by the way. It's not about being a victim. It's understanding that we're responsible for everything right or wrong or indifferent in our world and our reality. And the way of the warrior is the way of strategy, basically. It's not about war or kicking butt or anything like that. It's understanding that basically, we're in a dichotomatic. Well, the universe is a dichotomy. There's dark and light. There's good. There's evil, and we have to be able to be strong and defend ourselves. It's necessary, but the idea is for peace and unity and oneness. So warriorship's the way of strategy. So what we do is, like, the victim will just react to it, what they see, feel, or what people say, or react to what's going on out there. That's being in victim mentality. The warrior will step back, assess their playing field, come up with the proper strategy, and thereby the proper action and the proper solutions, come with that. So there you have it. That's the message from the condor. It's like the eagle of the Andes, basically, or in other areas also. So I have as well the Starseed Oracle. I've been very into star seeds lately, and I've kind of been remembering, being a little kid and just going outside and just staring at the stars, and I want to go home. I remember that phase of my life also, and these cards are all like discombobulated. But anyway, this is called the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Artwork by Danielle Noel. Sounds very French. Danielle Noel. All right, so I see my Arcturian guides and the master teachers to guide me. Saying Lyran. Okay, my Lyran guides. Okay, whoever guides that I have. So this is what I got. So a lot of times, with these divination cards, the message is really what you see and what you pick up from the image. But what it says here is your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So that's the message. Understand, that your life is a canvas. What would you like to paint on that canvas? What do you visualize? What do you feel? I'm gonna do. I haven't even filmed. I'm so behind in my work. I'm gonna film a short video for Thursday's upload about law of attraction and how you can actually apply the information in here, and what's actually worked for me after basically decades of working with law of attraction and not working. Now it's working. So I'll explain what I'm doing differently now, and what you guys can do differently. But anyway, so I'm going to bring this a little closer. Autofocus is at least somewhat cooperating with us today, so that's good. And it's like, what do you see? What do you feel? What do you sense? What do you smell? What do you taste? But but that's the idea. So maybe, in your mind's eye or in your imagination, not everybody's visual in terms of holding mental images. I'm blessed that I'm able to do that, but I know not everybody is. So use your imagination if you're not visual. Like, what if you were visual, what would you be seeing on your canvas? That kind of a thing. And it has the same power. So you can even do that almost like an internal vision board, and go within, and just see and feel yourself living that reality, and just feel your heart really open, and happy and joyful. And last but not least are the angel messages, our angel message for the day. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna pause this because that's very insightful. Also, because we're still at 33. Oh, we popped up to 36, which is also in the 369 code, by the way. But which is made up of the vibration of the number 3 appearing twice, amplifying, magnifying this influence. Number 3 relates to the attribute expansion, the principle of increase. Yeah, 3 is Jupiter ruled. That's absolutely is numerologically accurate. And I often call 33 the master of the master numbers, and partly for the reasons that Mr. Floyd was sharing with us. Also, well, I like this too. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I like that. Okay, so messages from the angels. This card, Francesca. Doreen Virtue's messages from the angels, the messages, what you desire right now, visualize it, and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. So again, lots about law of attraction as well. So how does that relate to these cards? That might be a good question. Well, if you can think it, you can manifest it. It's almost like, to me, if I'm looking at a manifestation, this is like the ideas, like what I want to create. So what I hold in my heart is intention. This is like what I need to let go of emotionally, or through my experiences, or through my programming. And this is me actually taking the action to make it happen. So um, law of attraction is a vibrational thing. It's aligning your thoughts and your emotions with spirit to create a certain frequency and an energy that dictates what you create in your life. So as you change your frequency, you change what you create. But then as that's happening, spirit will let you know what the appropriate action is in order to facilitate that also. Anyway, that's what I got today. I'm going to get going, let you guys get going. So again, on the list, Tuesday's interview with Zara Starchild, healer, and another New Age leader, who's going to talk about her awakening and her work as a healer and a mystic and a guide. Then we have I do about an hour of straight mediumship messages about every 6 weeks or so here on the channel, all free. No strings attached, none of that. Just only spirit attached. That's all. So we'll give you messages from the other side, and look for in about next couple of weeks, to start doing like daily 60-second predictions or forecasts for you on YouTube Shorts on the Medium channel. All right, love you all too. Thank you very much. Enjoy your Sunday. And I'll pin the March psychic forecast, since the snowstorm coming is a direct hit, because I even got the location in the day of big snows. And unless something really crazy happens with the weather patterns, snow is pretty much imminent, and a lot of snow for us. So that's what I got for ya. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.